talking about the development budget cuts that were up to around 587 million in the budget policy statement of 2020-2021, which leaves unanswered questions on what that means to the fulfillment of the Big Four agenda that has just 2 budget cycles to go. Now, Treasury Cabinet Secretary Ukur Yatani has told Parliament that last year's budget cuts for lavish travel, advertising and trainings, which the state said were examples of wasteful spending, have failed to yield enough savings to fix the budget deficit. Now, Mr. Yatani had in September pledged to sustain brutal spending cuts in a bid to contain rising debt costs and underperforming revenue. Now, Mr. Yatani noted that, and I quote, the national government's estimated net issues for the financial year 2019-2020 of 1.416 billion are not fully funded. Now, the proposed budget contains a 161 billion shillings gap. Now, the bridging of which will require further expenditure cuts of similar magnitude. That's Yatani. Now, Mr. Yatani's revelation comes barely 3 months after the Treasury in early December successfully lobbied lawmakers to raise the projected expenditure for capital projects by 73.4 billion for the current fiscal year. Now, the additional funds were to be spent on President Uhuru Kenyatta's Big Four agenda. Now, which seeks to boost manufacturing, food and nutrition security, affordable housing, and universal health care, and enablers such as roads, power transmission lines. Now, what do these cuts therefore mean to the overall development of the Kenyan economy? And is the 6% projected by Treasury still a visible number after all these cuts? Now, Richie, if you can just give us a graph so we see exactly how the government plans to do the cuts, or exactly where they are and exactly where they are supposed to be. As you can see now, we are actually going to look at exactly where they are projected and where they need to be. If you look at the yellow line, that's exactly where they are, and if you look at the white line, that's where they need to be. What that is going to tell you actually is that they are on a downward trend. Nothing is on a level, and that is bound to change now, which pretty much tells you the pressure that Ukur Yatani has really in terms of balancing his books. If you look at debt repayment, wages, development, defense, free, that is FPE, FEC, and SGR, KRA, and EBC, all of them have a deficit. Nothing is on the level. And that's the big plan for Ukur Yatani, which actually therefore begs the question, where does development stand? And this 6% that the Treasury told us that we expect in 2020, are we going to see it? Big one. Does it look like a man in a 50-50 scenario now?
You see, I think it's finally caught up with us. We have been talking about it catching up with us. It has caught up with us.
Yes.
You see, these are just what we are doing now.
Yes.
Is you have a headache and you keep taking Panadol.
Yes.
Instead of addressing why you have a headache.
Yes.
So we can take as many Panadols as you want, but the headache will persist.
Yes.
The issue is this: we are living large, and we do not have the money to do it. So we have to sit down.
Yes.
And pull down the budget completely.
Yes.
Not this kind of thing. Bring it down and do it from zero. Start by the fact that how much can we effectively collect from KRA? It is 2 trillion. Let's say it's 2 trillion. Then let's work a budget that works with 2 trillion.
Yes.
Period. Mm-hmm. But the way we're doing it, where we first create a wish list, then now find ways of funding it, we have a problem because
yes.
KRA is not meeting its target. Now we are already at 6 trillion, so we have 3 trillion more to borrow. You can see our repayment year on year is growing.
Yes.
So now we've cut down whatever we thought we could cut down. It's not working.
Yes.
Now we are starting to cut on development expenditure. So basically, when you start cutting down on development expenditure, it means we're just maintaining status quo. We're just getting money.
Yes.
We're paying salaries. We're paying rent. We're paying travel. Then we wait for another year.
Yes.
So as a country, we will not grow.
Yes.
You see. So we need to think. So the only thing that can happen for you to spend less, you must shrink size of government. And the government can be shrunk, and it can be shrunk so that we spend less on maintaining government. And
yes.
Shrink government doesn't mean that we deliver less services. We actually can deliver more. We just need to think a bit hard about it. I pity the CS Finance, the National Treasury, because he has cut so much, but it is still not working.
But it's still not.
Because the budget
yes.
is so ballooned.
Yes.
So that's what I'm saying. We have to. He is now doing this one for this year. He has to. There is no way he has to go for a balanced budget.
Yes.
Otherwise, this year it will not work. You
Yes.
see, we've limped along. Maybe we might just get out of this current financial year, but this coming year we will not.
That's exactly how it looks,
We
because
will
it's
not.
telling them, look,
We will not.
I have to find more ways of doing the cuts. Now, can I ask you a question now? Everybody did say this, that, well, you cannot have a budget purely based on a correctional model. According to your attorney, what he's probably doing is just correcting the mistakes that our former CA has actually put us in. And so it pretty much means that the whole of 2020-2021 financial year, we're going to run on a correctional model basis in the whole of that time. From where you sit, Abraham, does that mean that the 6%, the 5.9% we'll be getting, the 5.8% that we've been getting might actually receive a bigger hit if, in reality, the Big Four agenda is not going to be supported fully?
You see, the Big Four agenda needs money.
Yes.
And we start cutting development expenditure.
Yes.
So that means logically it will be hit.
Yes.
But yes, he has to correct a lot of things. And maybe we have to sacrifice one financial year and do nothing else other than just clean house.
Yes.
And maybe that's what he wants to do with the coming financial
Yes.
year. So that now, because as I'm saying, and cleaning house is just saying is doing what I'm saying, where you bring the whole house down and you build it afresh. Because what we are doing, we have been trying to do some plasters, and this is not working.
Yes.
Because we have a 3T budget, and we can hardly collect 2T.
Yes.
So we are saying we want to borrow 1T by design, and how do we pay for it? So we have to think afresh, and I think that's what he wants to do in this coming year.
Yes.
Where you do absolutely nothing but just fix. Look at the projects that are stalled and see if those can come on board.
Yes.
See what you can do by just putting in little money.
Yes.
and sparring the economy. But again, we will never run away from this size of government.
Yes.
And how we run government in terms of the fiscal.
Yes.
Our fiscal policy, our fiscal discipline needs to improve drastically. Because if we keep running to monetary policy to try and fix our fiscal mess, it will not work.
Yes.
No.
I want to take you to a very notable point here on exactly what the attorney is faced with. I want us to look at KRA, especially now. I mean, if you look at the deficit that we're talking about, they need to figure this one. This is the biggest one, because every time we keep on giving KRA the biggest agenda, can you collect for us money to run this government? Now, Yatani, if you did say, they come out the other day and said, well, I don't think that these targets that you're giving KRA are actually visible. Because if you look at the performance of the economy vis-a-vis what we put in place, you cannot tell KRA to collect for you 2.12 trillion shillings. They did revise it down to 1.78. But now the new one that they have in the new policy statement is actually higher than what they have right now, 1.85. Do you think that Yatani himself has done enough, therefore, to empower KRA to collect this money that is actually told them that he needs them to collect come 2020-2021? Because that is going to be a problem again.
You see, KRA is also a thing on its own.
Yes.
KRA also needs to change the way they do their things.
Yes.
They've done a very good job. I mean, let's hand it to them. But it can be better. Better in the sense that there are still a lot of people in this country who are having free lunches. They don't pay tax, and they can pay tax, and they're able to pay tax. But because tax is something you can avoid whenever, if nobody comes for you, very people will come and say, here's my tax.
Yes.
So probably we can collect more. But definitely for us to collect more, we must do things differently. So maybe that's why they've been given that target. But yes, in a shrinking economy, giving somebody a target that's going upwards, I don't think it's being fair to them.
Yes.
No, because the economy is shrinking.
Yes.
And that is the fact. And now cutting on developmental expenditure will not make it any better. Because the moment government starts cutting down on expenditure, it impacts national income straight away.
Yes.
Because the components of national income is government, C plus I plus G. G is government.
Yes.
Consumption, investment, government, and then X minus M, exports minus imports.
Yes.
So when government expenditure is lower, it affects even the cash flow. And that's why you see even the cash in circulation. There's a problem because of pending bills. Because the moment government does not pay, there's no money in the economy. So what am I saying? If we can sit down in a room and say, how much can we realistically collect? As a sober country, sit down and say, KRA, tell us, how much can you collect for us? If you push yourself, we can collect 2 trillion, fine. Then we look at how much can we borrow domestically or internationally and afford to do this. X amount. And then how can you be able to reorganize this debt to create fresh cash flow to be able to soak in more debt?
Yes.
Then when you get that figure, then now we can create expenditure that fits this. Then we'll have no problem. We'll live very well. But when you do it the other way around, where we have this must be done. You see, that's what Return is under pressure. The Agenda 4 must be done. You must do this. The counties want 15% of the income. So everybody has something to come to Yatani with. But how much does he have in his coffers? So let's reverse this. Let's first collect. Let's first say how much do I have, then create an expenditure.
Yes.
Not create an expenditure, then start looking for money.
Yes.
Because it's not a bad thing to create expenditure for money, but our usual suspects are not working anymore. We used to run to debt. That is running out because you can see it's not sustainable anymore.
Yeah, it's not sustainable anymore.
Domestically, the rates are going down. So whenever you float government paper, people will not buy it.
Yes.
Because the rates are lower. You see, because and they are being pushed, and that's what the CBK, the monetary policy is trying to achieve. That most of our debt is external. Because as we speak now, at least the external debt is slightly higher. It's 3.1 trillion. Domestic debt is 2.9. So you see, it's almost a split in the middle. But you'd want a situation whereby this entire debt is externalized. Because if it's externalized, this 2.9 trillion is now available for credit domestically. That's what happens when the government crowds out the private entrepreneur because they are a safe haven for investment. Yes, they get the money, but the effect is that they crowd out.
Yes.
So yes, the 60 is still an absolute figure,
yes,
but it would be better if it's composed of more of external than of internal.
Pretty much,
Yeah.
isn't it? All right, I just want us to leave it there. We are watching. We want to see exactly what is going to happen next when, yes, the budget will be finally tabled. Now, let's move on to the next one. Chinese nationals Yu Ling, Deng Hailan, Qiang and Chang Yupeng accused of assaulting a Kenyan employee at Shez Wu restaurant in Kileleshwa, Nairobi, will not be deported after all, after a court in Nairobi ruled against a deportation order by Interior CS Matiang'i. Dr. Fred Matiang'i's directive was issued last week just after Milimani Principal Magistrate Helena Okwani had allowed police to detain the four for 15 days to investigate assault and immigration offenses. Now the four, Deng Helan, the man suspected to have caned waiter Simon Osako Silo over lateness before dismissing him, Chang Yupeng, Qiang and Yuleng. The incident happened at Shez Wu restaurant in Kileleshwa. Well, it looks that there will be no charges now as opposed to deportation. What pulls Kenyans to this level? And can unemployment be solely to blame? Well, the case is ongoing. It's not been decided. Looks like they'll not be deported. Just charges are going to be opened against them, and then they'll be charged locally, and that will be settled. Fair? Unfair?
Personally, I cannot believe that a Kenyan judicial officer can do that to themselves.
Yes.
You know, this is the height. You know, such people, if you did that in China, they would cut your head off. They would not even send you home. They would cut your head off. These guys are humiliating us here. As a Kenyan, it is disgusting,
yes,
that we can have a court give an order like that. I am ashamed to be a Kenyan that somebody can do that to us, to ourselves. These guys need to be left. You know, we need to draw a line that Kenya, we belong, Kenya ni yetu. And if you stay here on our terms, if you don't like it, you go. They are not ways about it. So I think it's high time we became a bit, for lack of a Kiswahili word, wajeuri.
yes.
Let's be more patriotic about ourselves. Even as we apply the law is not blind. You must apply the law within the precincts and within the confines of reality. A Kenyan was caned. It's not in doubt. How? It was. I mean, it is the height of humiliation.
Yes.
So, personally, if I was a CS, I would still deport them. I would deport them. I'm telling you, I would deport them.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, are you saying that the rights of these four people, foreigners, are higher than they rank higher than the integrity and the and well-being of Kenyans?
Is it okay for us to look at the other side? Yes, that yes, if you actually then deport them, that means that the business that we're doing here is finished as well.
No, we don't need such business. We do not need business people
Yes.
who humiliate us. Let them go.
Yes.
We do not need such business. Nowhere in the world will they allow you to humiliate their citizens because you're bringing business.
Yes.
Let them go with it. I mean, running a Chinese restaurant is not rocket science. This is not NASA or they're not running a space station. This is something we can run ourselves. So having one less Chinese restaurant in Kenya will not change anything. Let them go with it. Personally, it is a very emotional thing for me. It is disgusting, to say the least. Honestly, I think those guys should have gone yesterday.
I'm not going to leave it there. Now, meanwhile, the Capital Markets Authority has indicated that it is aiming to position the capital markets to provide at least 30% of financing required by county governments. CMA Chairman James Ndegwa has said the authority is working on a policy to facilitate more investment in infrastructure development through the county's capital markets. Now, financing of counties and infrastructure development has so far been the sole preserve of the National Treasury. Now, counties will be under pressure for funds if the budget policy statement 2020-2021 will finally be the final draft for the financial year in question. Now, this on paper seems like the best way possible for the counties to have alternative ways for development and infrastructure funds. Main question though is, do the counties have any economic model that will attract CMA to go this direction? Has to be thought about. Because on paper, it looks like a good idea.
I think this idea had been floated before.
Yes.
It's when you think about it,
Yes.
theoretically speaking, it's a very good idea. But look at it this way. We have 47 counties.
Yes.
Now, if those 47 counties, each of them goes after what works for them, the likelihood of us working at cross purpose is very high.
Yes.
So that's why I see for you to incur any debt or to commit county, you have to come back to the treasury.
Yes.
Because there has to be somebody at the center ensuring that all is it's like the equivalent of if you're in hospital and you're very badly, you're so sick that you're being seen by maybe 6 doctors. There has to be one doctor in the middle to ensure that these doctors don't prescribe medicines for you to death.
Yes.
Because each of them comes in, prescribes something for you. The same way I'm saying, if Turkana is doing their thing there that does not know what Mandera is doing, and Mombasa is doing their own thing, before long, the overall sovereign interest may not be served.
Yes.
Because sometimes the individual interests sometimes work at cross purpose for obvious reasons. So this is a good idea, but I think we need to think a bit more in terms of how do we avoid what we are just talking about?
Yes.
How do we avoid, as much as we're trying to raise funds for each of their plans, how do you avoid, number one, working at cross purpose, and 2, how do you manage the composite debt that is created?
Yes.
Because everybody's creating debt. That's what this is about.
Yes.
Capital debt, whatever level of debt you want. But who's the referee? Who's keeping stock of the overall debt that everybody is stocking up?
Yes.
And if county X defaults, what happens?
What happens?
So the central government is still responsible.
Yes.
But if the turn of this is that they want to do it independently. So what happens? And then when they're giving out their sovereign their guarantee, it is in whose name? It is in Kenya's name, or is it in county's name?
Yes.
If you give it in county's name, what does that exactly mean? So that's some of the legal things that we need to think about.
Need to digest further.
They are good ideas, but then again, sometimes maybe it's not necessary to go this way. It's just because you have good ideas, let them filter through the budget process. So that's what I was telling you the other time. We just need to have very good capacity at Treasury, whereby we can bring all these things up, and they looked at it in good time and evaluated properly, and then they implemented.
Yes.
That will be the best way. But going it individual is not a bad idea, but we have to ensure that in going individual, we do not affect the overall goal of the country.
Yes.
Yes.
Abraham, somebody asked me this question that they actually requested me to put it across to you.
Yes.
That it looks like a good issue on paper. Now that's why it's been floated some time over and over again, but it's never seen the light of the day.
Yeah.
When you look at the county books, some counties spend zero in terms of development.
Yes.
Zero.
Yes.
Zero.
Yes.
So does it make CMA really think about it and say, well, I mean, what is the source of fund for county X when we're giving them the money? Aren't you just opening them to open a debt they're never gonna pay?
You see, and there lies the problem. Because see, in any debt situation, in any governance structure, there has to be a maker and a checker.
Yes.
Now this one we are removing the checker, so we just have 47 makers.
Yes.
And CMA is just regulatory. it only ensures that you comply with the law in terms of taking the debt, not the effect of the debt.
Yes,
The
yes.
effect of the debt is controlled at Treasury. Now, there is an insinuation of taking Treasury out of that equation. Okay, these are just proposals, but even at proposal level, how would it sit? Because don't forget, all these things, when all these birds come home to roost, they'll come to Treasury. So Treasury will be stuck with something they were never involved in, but ultimately, the sovereign responsibility remains with Kenya.
Yes.
As a sovereign state.
Yes.
So how you divide Kenya, that is none of their business. Yes, it was County X, but it was part of Kenya. So as far as they're concerned, Kenya contracted. So this thing, it's a very good idea, but I think we need to think a bit more about how we take care of national interests,
Yes.
individual interests, and those two interests are congruent.
Pretty much, isn't it? All right, Abraham, thank you very much for joining us this morning on Business AM. That's exactly what we had prepared for you this morning. Now you can actually be part of this conversation. Go right now on your TV screens. The SMS lines are 2146. I was waiting for it. Yeah, it's right here. Good, right there. Fantastic. And then after that, talk to us. We shall actually sample some of your conversations and send them straight to our social media teams who are going to respond to you promptly. Also, good thing about YouTube is they can actually take us a couple minutes, so you can also be part and parcel of this conversation. We take a short break. Once we come back, how do you therefore position your business for growth in an economy which everybody says things are not doing so okay? That is 2020, 2021 for you. We're calling it a year for budget cuts. This is Business AM.